Hello, this is C28 with the behind the scenes look at my newest song, Noise. So a lot of the vocals are layered in a very fascinating way, like this one right here.
Lead me astray, poison in my brain. Feed me lies, you call it wisdom.
Now every single one of these recordings has a very specific feature to it. You have a medium end, a high end, and a low end. And all of these combine to create this sort of Gregorian chant sound. I'll show it by deconstructing this one into its mid, high, and low ends, and you can hear those sound. First, here's the medium end.
Lead me astray, poison in my brain. Feed me lies, you call it wisdom.
Now you might hear that it has a lot, and I mean a lot, of auto-tuning artifacts in it. Now, I know this might sound dumb, but I left those in for a reason. When it works with all the other artifacts from the other auto-tune recordings, it actually creates a really, really cool dynamic sound. So even if it sounds trash on its own, it ends up creating a really, really nice environmental effect. So next up here is the high end, and it sounds like this.
Lead me astray, poison in my brain. Feed me lies, you call it wisdom.
As you can hear, that one is a lot smoother, and that helps to control the sound. So I'll typically have one recording where it's controlled, and the other two, I'll have some allowable artifacting with the auto-tuning. So lastly here is the low end.
Lead me astray, poison in my brain. Feed me lies, you call it wisdom.
Now this isn't as low as some of them get to. I'll show that next. But just the fact that it has the lower notes lets it harmonize very, very well with the other two. And it just sounds amazing in my opinion having all three together. I'll show that again.
Lead me astray, poison in my brain. Feed me lies, you call it wisdom.
Now the next two examples take this idea of chorusing and just push it to an extreme. Now typically artists will use digital format shifting to get this really deep or really high vocal that normally you can't hit. What I found is I can just grab my vocal cords,
push them down, and you get this very deep sound without any digital effects. This is completely analog, and it's how I sound in the room right now. So you can sing with this and get the same effect without digital effects, meaning you have less artifacting.
So let's go and show you how that sounds. Here's the layer.
I could take a note from your book. You should not have me so damn shook.
So as you can hear, with all the different layers having their own distinct pitch, with the mid end, the high end, and the low end, it creates a really, really nice chorusing effect. Here's what they sound like individually. Here's the medium end.
I could take a note from your book. You should not have me so damn shook.
Next up here is the high end, which has very similar sounds, except I went a little bit higher on some of the words.
I could take a note from your book. You should not have me so damn shook.
Even just those two together will sound good. I'll show that right now.
I could take a note from your book. You should not have me so damn shook.
Now it is missing that extra little piece that it had in the beginning, where it has that extra low end, increasing the dynamic range. So it does sound silly, but here it is, I'll explain why.
I could take a note from your book. You should not have me so damn shook.
So I know, right? It does sound a bit silly, but it does add that extra layer into the layer, making it sound just so much more dynamically rich. And one thing I did notice while I was singing with this
Modified voice.
is that it requires a lot more air to speak than with a regular voice or even a higher voice. I'm not sure exactly why, but I would imagine it's because there's more stuff moving, so you need more air to move it. There's more surface area, that is. So here's another example of that same chorusing effect with the chorus vocals themselves. You're just noise. Here's what that sounds like.
You're just noise. You're just noise.
Now you may notice that high end is taking over quite a bit. I did actually make that one slightly louder than the other ones because I wanted that to be the note that you follow when you listen to it. So you do hear the "you're just noise, you're just noise." So now let's show the individual layers that are here. First off, here's the mid layer.
You're just noise. You're just noise.
As you can hear, this layer doesn't actually do a whole lot. It just stays with a very, very constant "you're just noise," and it continues that throughout the entire section. So next up here is the high end, the one that you're meant to be following. You'll hear this sounds very similar to the whole mix because that's the one you're listening to primarily.
You're just noise. You're just noise.
And finally, of course, we have the low end, which sounds like this.
You're just noise. You're just noise.
And let's give that a listen with every single one of those elements back together again, just so you get your context for how it really changes when you add them together.
You're just noise. You're just noise.
That is it. That is all of it together, and you see how they interact to make a very dynamically rich sound with many, many, many different frequencies working together. So that is it for this session of I don't know what I'm going to call it. You'll see in the title what it's called. I'm pretty sure I'll call it something like Behind the Screen or Back in the Shop or something with C28. I'll probably do this for my future songs as well. So I think it'd be cool to show sort of behind the scenes what's going through my head when I'm making these songs. Probably do the same with the synthesis, not totally certain, but I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.